Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I know it's been a bit of a slow week here on the channel, but we're gonna turn it right back up and get right back to our originally scheduled program. So, a lot of stuff going on in the boxing world, a lot of news, a lot of rumors floating around, and one rumor floating around in particular that I've been hearing from, social media, YSM Sports Media reported on it. So shout out to Jamil Parker, shout out to Brandon Walker, and the fine folks over at YSM Sports Media who are doing a great job covering the sport of boxing. Go subscribe to them. But I heard from them, and I've heard through multiple people that I know in the boxing world, and it is a rumor, so we can't confirm that this is true just yet, but I think it's definitely a story and a rumor worth talking about. And once anything comes from this, we can definitely follow up and talk about it some more. But apparently it has been reported that WBO welterweight champion Terence Bud Crawford, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, the future Hall of Famer, apparently he's rumored to be signing a 2-fight deal with none other than Al Heyman and PBC themselves, Premier Boxing Champions themselves. And some of the reports that I've read and some of the rumors that I've read, they're saying that maybe they announced something about this at the Errol Spence fight. So hey, maybe there is a glimmer of hope for Crawford versus Spence. But listen, man, how do we process this? What's our reaction to this? Well, my reaction to it is this. I think if it is true, if there is any truth to the rumors, I think it'd be a good step for the career of Terence Crawford, because the reality is this. Top Rank don't really have a lot of opponents for him. I think Bob Arum has squeezed every last ounce out of his career that he could and paid Terence Crawford very nicely in his career, but he can't really offer him much more. So I think for Terence, the signing a PBC doesn't guarantee that he gets an Errol Spence fight. But I think if we're going off for probabilities and percentages, the percentage of him getting an Errol Spence fight dramatically increases signing with PBC. So I'm hoping that there is truth to this, because I want to see Terence Crawford fight more often. I want to see Terence Crawford in the biggest fights. I want to see Terence Crawford continue to defend and prove his pound-for-pound status in the sport, because I don't like how people have been playing with his name, acting like he's not arguably the best fighter in the world, because he is arguably the best fighter in the world, and that includes whoever else you guys think is pound-for-pound. But, look, there's so many ways that this could go. Now, obviously, logically speaking, and hopefully optimistically speaking, we hope that if Terence Crawford does sign a deal with PBC, we hope that this leads to an Errol Spence fight, because the reality is that this fight has been over-marinated to the point where, like, some of us just don't care anymore. And if we do care, it's not like it was in 2018 and 2019 and even 2020. The fight has lost its luster, but it is a fight that people still want to see. It is a fight that still generates a lot of interest, and it's a fight that I think ultimately, for the sake of this era of welterweights, has to happen for clarity as to who is who, as to what is fact and what is fiction. No excuses, no dishonor. We still want to see Crawford versus Spence. So optimistically, I'm hoping that if this is true, that's what this is leading to. Now, if we're gonna be non-optimistic, and let's just say that Al Heyman, PBC, and the fine folks over there are just gonna use Terence Crawford as a pawn in their game on the chessboard to allow and protect Errol Spence from that fight, then we gotta assume that maybe a Jaron Ennis fight could be looming for Terence Crawford, because let's be real. I don't know if Ennis is formally signed to Al Heyman or PBC, but he did just sign a deal recently to have his next couple of fights broadcasted on Showtime, starting with this Castillo-Clayton fight coming up on the Castaño-Charlo undercard. So Jaron Ennis is going to be fighting under that umbrella. So, who's to say that they don't try to use Terence Crawford as an opponent for Jaron Ennis and try to get Jaron Ennis to knock him out of the way for Errol Spence? That way they can still make a fight that people will be pleased with, and they could also eliminate him off the board if Ennis can rise to the occasion and prove that he is what he says he is. Now, there is no guarantees. Personally, for me, I think if that fight would happen anytime soon, I'm still favoring Crawford, only because I just think Ennis needs a bit more experience. He needs to go some rounds before he steps in the ring with a guy like Terence Crawford at this stage. Now, maybe if we're talking about 18 months, 2 years from now, when he's gotten the right experience, maybe my tune is different. But right now, I got Crawford beating Ennis. But you know, that could be a possibility. Maybe a Danny Garcia fight, because Danny Garcia versus Crawford was always a fight that was discussed back in the day, and they had a little rivalry in the amateurs and they didn't like each other, so maybe they fight each other. Maybe we get Jermell Charlo versus Terence Crawford at 154. That's a fight that, for me personally, I've always wanted to see. I'd rather see that fight more than Spence, and more than Ennis, and more than any other fight, because just of what it means as far as legacy, what it means as far as styles, what it means, what it would be as far as the build-up. I mean, come on, man. You to me, as far as the build-up and the trash talk that would ensue, I don't think we could do better than Crawford versus Jermell Charlo. That's just my honest opinion. But that's the news. Terence Crawford rumored to be signing not a 1-fight deal with PBC, but a 2-fight deal with PBC. So do all roads lead to Errol Spence? I'm not so sure. Is this true? I'm not so sure, but it's been floating around. If you're in the boxing world at all, and you know people who know people who know people, you know that it's a rumor that it is floating around. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely be following and monitoring this as it happens and as things unfold. But that's the news. Terence Crawford rumored to be signing a deal with PBC. What do you guys think of it? Does it mean he's fighting Errol Spence soon? You know, I hope so, because that's a fight that we were wanting to see for a lot of years, but it's getting frustrated to even talk about it. So hopefully it happens, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. If it is the case, who do you think are the 2 fights that Terence Crawford will have in his 2-fight deal with the PBC? Leave that down below, along with any thoughts, comments, concerns regarding this whole rumor. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.